Believe it or not, there's a breed of game out there that is seen to be the most difficult, the most unfair, the most unforgiving to mistakes, and people love to suck it up and call it great. And no, I'm not talking about Parappa the Rapper, that's on a completely different league of bullshit. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I've played the Souls series in such a weird order. My first experience was Dark Souls 3, then I moved on to Dark Souls 2, and around about finishing the game, Dark Souls Remastered came out. And now I get to play the remake for the game that started it all. It's kind of like the gaming equivalent of the Benjamin Button story, but not. Anyway, you know the drill with these kind of games. Die, make some progress, die, find a boss room, and die again. Of course that's how everyone else plays it. I, however, decide that dying slows down the progress, so I chose not to do it. The first thing that I wanted to say was that it was weird to see that this game has basically 0 checkpoints for its levels. Unlike the Dark Souls games, you don't have bonfires scattered around to help you along your journey, but instead you have to earn a checkpoint by defeating the area's bosses. And from there you can continue on to the next boss, and then the next boss until you finish the world. At first I didn't like this, but after a while I saw that the game teaches you to take advantage of shortcuts that you can open to make the journey through the world so much easier. And speaking of the worlds, it was interesting to see how many aspects of the game became stepping stones for future projects From Software went on to create. It was like watching an origin story for the Dark Souls series. The Depraved Chasm was a clear inspiration for what would soon be Blighttown. You can see a lot of Bloodborne in the Prison of Hope. You can go through the whole game and pick out several stuff that seems so familiar from the other games. But what makes the Souls series so special for me is the bosses that inhabit each game, and the ones in this game aren't shy from being brilliant. I mean, this is the first game I've ever played that I can literally clap a boss's cheeks and watch him jiggle like I was Robin Thicke at that one concert. There are quite a few trophies that tie into bosses, some are more specific than others. I've seen most of them ask you to beat the bosses, but there are a handful that ask you to beat them in specific ways. I didn't have many problems with the list really, apart from beating Maiden Astraea without killing Golf Inland, because that guy has some serious dedication to standing in that one spot that you can't get around. But one Google search later led me to realise I could snipe Astraea straight off her seat. After I finished the game, I realised I had to go through New Game Plus to do all the cleanup, which involved getting all the miracles, spells and rings. And if you go on any forum for a Soulsborne game, you'll know that the real Demon Souls start now. And it does. It really does. I thought I was the shit playing as my royal character. I made sure I kept him well balanced and to make sure that he was the jack of all trades. Well, I realised after a while that this was probably the worst mistake I could possibly have done, since every attack that I did little damage on even the weakest of enemies. So I waited 3 months and started again. I grinded, killed myself in the Nexus so that I would keep my world tendency white, put all my points in strength and some other stuff to make sure that I'm the beefiest beefcake that would ever walk the realm of Boletaria. Granted, I still struggled on the Flame Lurker and Man-Eater, but I did it. I even beat Old King Doran completely legitimately and not at all by using a cheese method. And then I got to the final boss, but decided to go back to this area to farm for a good few hours to make sure that there could be no possible chance that anyone could oppose me. I also took the opportunity to get my actual character tendency white so I could get the ring from the Monumental, but I couldn't get the ring from the Monumental because for some stupid reason he doesn't give it to you if the only boss you have left is the final one. So I had to bite the bullet and go into New Game Plus and retrieve the ring there. At this point I still had to buy all the spells and miracles and also get the final ring from Mephisto. And then I spent all my boss souls to get the spells and miracles that I needed. And this is when I came to the final speed bump of my journey getting this platinum trophy. And that's like the game wants you to play through a third time to have enough boss souls to get both the miracles and the spells. Obviously I'm an amazing gamer who would walk through New Game Plus Plus without a scratch. I get it now. This is really hard to time. Okay, don't do it. No. Fuck. But I didn't want to embarrass the creators, so instead I opted to do something I swore I'd never do. I save scummed. I bought all the spells, got the trophy, then reloaded my save and bought all the miracles. I was ashamed of myself at first, that I could stoop so low. And then I realised it's just a game and no one really cares. And from then on I sorted every NPC I could to drop my character tendency all the way down so I could take part in the Mephisto questline, where she asks you to kill the inhabitants of the Nexus that you have previously saved. And honestly, I was kind of worried going in. Sage Freak, Uriah the Witch, these are characters that for some reason I built up in my head to be super strong characters. But I was able to kill them before they even stood up, so there you go. Patches dead, Ostrava dead, Bior
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary.
No, Bjorn died pretty easy as well. Even Mephisto herself was pretty damn easy, but all in all I got the ring and that was that. And to be honest, I'm glad that this wasn't the last thing that I had to do for the Platinum Trophy, because frankly, it was really anticlimactic. Instead, I saved the trophy that asked you to invade another person's world and kill them. Intense, I know, that's what I thought. For the whole 20 minutes it took me to find someone to invade. And even then, remember what I said about being anticlimactic? And to be honest, I'm glad that this wasn't the last thing that I had to do for the Platinum Trophy, because frankly, it was really anticlimactic. Yeah, remember that? Well, just watch. And with that, I got the Platinum Trophy. Took me 29 hours from the point I made the second character to this moment right here. Do I think you should get the Platinum? Sure, why not? Do I think you should do it legit by doing the third playthrough?
Oh, I don't think so.
But absolutely play the game. I would argue that this is probably my favourite one of the Souls games, absolutely. I didn't realise how much of a difference haptic feedback made until I went back to it. With Demon Souls, you feel the weight of your rolls, the weight of your swings. Stuff that I never would have took note of if I didn't go back and play the previous games. If you have a PS5, which, you know, seeing how many are out there, I doubt that you do, I think you should try this game out. I think it's a pretty good entry point into the saga. To be fair, I think any of the games are a pretty good entry to the series, just not Dark Souls 2. But who am I to tell you what to do? I'm just a guy on the internet. And with that, I'm going to end it here. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.